Hi guys, I started this video earlier, but it kind of got messed up. So anyways, I am Level Scriptor, and this is my channel, and I'm just doing random stuff on it really. I'm not doing anything in particular. Today we're going to be cooking fried noodles. It's easy to do, it's really fast, it's something that, you know, you don't have to try too hard to do. So anyways, what you guys may have missed, because I recorded the video, was anyways, I did eggs. I was scrambling eggs for the noodles, and I put a little bit of sour cream in them to kind of lighten them up, you know, like make them more fluffy. And you just scramble them up really good. The sauce, the seasoning that you're going to be using is going to be the chicken packet, you know, basically a bouillon. So like if you have a chicken bouillon, you can use that. A little bit of ginger in there. You put a little bit of ginger in there, not too much. Put a little bit of onion salt in there. Put a little bit of garlic salt in there. Stir it all together, and then you put curry powder in there. A little bit of curry powder. Curry powder goes a long ways. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop up the ham, you know, into cubes. We cube it. I use a very small amount of ham. You don't need a whole lot for this recipe. We're starting to boil the water. Right now I'm getting the water boiling, and we're going to get started cooking. And another thing we're going to do is we're going to make a sauce out of this marmalade jelly. It's going to be like an orange sauce. It's pretty good. I like it. If you want to put a little bit of spice in it, I don't put a lot of spice in it because of the fact that people in my family don't really eat a lot of spicy foods. You can use, you know, like a chili powder or something like that, something a little spicier, maybe even like a cayenne pepper or something like that. Get it a little bit of spice, you know, more like an orange chicken type thing, an orange chicken sauce. What we're going to do is we're going to take these noodles and we're going to partially cook them. We're going to cook them till they're soft, as soon as the water starts boiling. And then we'll get started. Okay, the water's boiling. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way so you guys can get a view of what we're going to do. I'm going to turn the camera. Okay. So, that's obviously the pot. It's boiling. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the noodles and we're going to put them in here. And we're just going to let them kind of cook partially, and we're just going to get them to where they're softened up enough to where I can put them in that colander over there, which I'll show you in a minute. Well, I'll just show you right now, this colander, because you're going to need to cool the noodles down really fast. You're going to have to cool them down really fast because you're going to have to make the sauce, and you don't want your noodles cooking any more than they are already cooked. So anyways, we're trying to get the noodles, you know, to soften up a little bit. And I mean, you know, this takes a little bit of time. You know, anybody who's made ramen noodles, they know how long it, you know, it takes a little bit. Not too long, but, you know. And we're just kind of we're pulling it. We don't really want to tear at the noodles, obviously, because if you tear at them, you have little chunks of noodle instead of whole pieces. See, there we go. That's good right there. Let's see, they're loose and they're coming apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys over here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in here and I'm going to cool it down. I'm going to cool it down drastically. You want to get the cold water on there so that the noodles will kind of solidify and get, you know, harder. Solidify. Oh gosh, just get harder. You know, the noodles will get hard so that they're not going to cook anymore, because if you have noodles that have hot water on them, they're going to cook past the time that you take them out. So we're going to just get them soft I mean, you know, solid, not soft, hard. Um, so there we go. We got that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our sauce. If you can see it. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to lightly sprinkle it on here. Lightly sprinkle it on here just a little bit. We're going to save this for the sauce that we're going to make. We just kind of just bring it through with our hands, or, you know, if you're making it for somebody else or something like that, you use a spoon or whatever, because nobody wants your nasty hands in their food. Anyways, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to make the sauce, which is a very simple sauce. It started with a roux of cornstarch and water. We're going to put this in here like so, and we're going to just kind of, we're going to get all this excess stuff out. Get the excess stuff out of there. Just get a metal spoon and scrape it out of there. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this, we're going to add in a little marmalade. This is just orange marmalade. We're going to take our wooden spoon and we're just going to stir it around until it gets thicker. We want it to thicken the sauce. We want it to kind of melt down, melt the jellies, and I started a little too quick on that one. I shouldn't have done that so fast, because now there's getting little white clay chunks in there, but we'll fix that. We're just going to stir it around. Like this, and it's almost like you're making like a candy or something. I don't know. It gets to a jelly stage. Now we're going to take our seasoning and we're going to put that in there, and we're going to stir that around. We're going to take it off the heat a little bit. Take it off the heat, and now we're just going to let it cool down. And next thing we're going to do, as we're letting that cool, is we're going to fry the noodles. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little bit of oil. You don't need a whole lot of oil. Too much oil will leave you with a greasy noodle, and you don't want a greasy noodle. It's just not good. It doesn't taste good. It's not good for you. We're going to put a little bit of the oil in there, you know, like that much right there. I actually put too much in the cup, as you can see, but we're going to put a little bit, like maybe a teaspoon of oil, and we're going to spread it around. That goes a long way. You see that? It's completely coating the pan. So we're going to let that heat up a little bit. We're going to grab our noodles. We're going to set them right here so that we can be ready. And we're going to take our ham. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to take our ham. We're going to put that in there. We're going to put the ham in there because that's kind of how we're going to know when this is going to start to cook. Yeah, you see how you hear that popping sound? That means it's starting to cook. And we're going to get that around in there. And you know, if you want to, you can chop up a little bit of onion. A little bit of whatever you want, really. Sometimes I cook vegetables in it. Predominantly I use a frozen vegetable because it's just easier. Use the frozen vegetable and you just microwave it in the microwave, and then you just throw it in the pan and cook it together, and it fries up really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw our noodles in. Our noodles are in here. And we're going to fry these up. Oh man, that smells good. It smells really good. Like, it's delicious. You'll have to try it because I just, you know, you can't, obviously you can't smell it. I wish you could. Smell-o-vision. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our soy sauce packet, and we're going to, well actually, let's let it fry a little bit more. The noodles are going to stick to the bottom of the pan a little bit. Don't worry about that. That's not a really big deal. That soy sauce will break it free. You can use a little bit of water if you don't have soy sauce, or you don't like soy sauce, or you're maybe allergic to soy or something. You can use a little bit of water to break it free. But I use this for flavor as well. So we just use the whole packet of the soy sauce, and we stir it in, and breaks it free a little bit. And you see how you're getting that almost brown looking color. And you see, you know, it's just kind of, you know, it's kind of got that chow mein like color. And that's what you want when you're doing a fried noodle. You want it kind of having a color like this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to set this aside in this bowl right here. And don't burn yourself, obviously. If you're a child, ask your parents for permission to do something like this. If you're an adult, you know, you don't have to ask permission. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to scrape off what's left. And you can throw that in there, or you can throw that away. I throw it in there because I like to eat all the noodle. There's no point in wasting it. Because now we're gonna scramble the eggs in this pan, and what that'll do is that will get some of the flavor in the eggs. Do not stick your hand in a hot pan like I just did right there. That is very hot and it hurt very bad. Don't be fooling around the fire. If you have more space, I don't have a whole lot of space, so I'm kind of working with what I have. So you kind of want to have. You want to break off the excess on here, because that's going to happen. It just seems to happen. Sometimes it doesn't, and if it doesn't happen, that's good. You're going to break off the excess like that, and we'll just kind of just throw it away, you know. Throw it all away, because now we're going to cook the eggs, and you can probably cook the eggs in this, but sometimes I just throw a little butter in. I'm just going to throw a little butter in there. Just so the eggs don't stick. Use a little bit more butter than that. I don't have exact. And then you just melt the butter down. You know, obviously. You know, and I'm doing this way. I don't want to challenge your intelligence, obviously, but I'm just doing it this way and saying it this way because I don't know who cooks, who doesn't cook, you know, and I don't want them to feel like, well, man, you know, what do I do here? What do I do here? Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to give you half an instruction because I think you're smarter than that, which I do, but I'm not going to cut you short like that. I'm not going to do that to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the eggs and we're cooking them. You know, they're going to be very soft because of the sour cream, because we put sour cream in there. It makes the eggs really soft and really delicious, to be honest. And we just take it and we cook it up. We don't want it to be like it's right here. We want to kind of keep cooking until it is drier, because you don't really want a jelly egg. And that's what happens sometimes with the sour cream. I may have used a little bit too much sour cream. And when you use too much sour cream, that kind of happens. Use less. You know, I used about I didn't have my measuring spoon, so usually I use like a teaspoon, but I used probably more than that. So we're taking that and we're just going to chop it up, because just like in any good Asian recipe, this is clearly not an Asian recipe, but with Asian recipes with the eggs, I usually seem to see them chopped up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the eggs and we're going to, oh man, that's hot. It's hot as fire. We're going to take the eggs and we're going to put them in the bowl like this, you know, obviously. Flick the leg on the hot burner. That's not good. And we're going to just spread it out like that. And now what we're going to do, because I just made a mess, we're going to try and clean this egg off this stove, because we're going to have to use it again to heat up the sauce. We're going to heat this sauce up just a little bit. And see, it's a little bit jelly, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of water and thin it just a bit. We're going to thin it up just a bit, get it to a more jelly-like substance. Again, I mean, like a more smooth sauce-like substance. And there's little orange pills in there. That's the white you're seeing. It's the orange pills. I really wish I hadn't gotten this brand of jelly, but that's kind of what happens. You know, you get a brand. Well, it's not a jelly. It's a marmalade. That's what it is, a marmalade. So then we're just going to take this and we're going to top it on top. And just get it in there, all of it. And we're going to stir the sauce around. We want the sauce to be stirred. And
make sure you're working your underwater.
There's your finished product. It's very good. I love that. Anyways, guys, finished product. I am Flibble Scriptor, and this is my video. Thank you.